Good morning and happy Tuesday. I had to think about that then. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you're all well and welcome to Crafters TV. I'd like to say it on this sunny morning, but I'm afraid up here in the northeast, it's not really sunny this morning. It was a little tad damp here. But I hope the weather is nice wherever you are and you are having an absolutely fantastic Tuesday morning, late Monday night, late Tuesday afternoon, depends where you're from. We've got you from all over. We've got everyone from all over. So thank you for joining us. We have got an amazing set of shows today. It's going to be so much fun. We hope you're going to enjoy it. We've got lots of you already joining us. So today we've got myself, I'm here because yesterday it was Ben. Ben's not in today, so I'm sitting here. I'm going to be doing the presenting. And I've got the lovely Jan with us. I asked for Jan and they just sent me half of her. They only said, I don't know where the other half's gone. They've just only sent me half of her. Good morning, Jan.
Good morning.
Are you all right?
I am. It's good to be back again, yes.
It is. Impressive journey, but you're here now, so you can read.
It's always a challenge, my journey. It's like, yeah, sometimes think it'd be better not being on the motorway, but hey ho,
yeah.
we're here.
We're here, and we're ready to go.
That's all behind me, yeah. I can forget about that until 8 o'clock tonight.
Hey, brilliant, brilliant. Right, now we're going to be looking at re-inkers.
Yes, it's Get Messy Day.
It is Get Messy Day.
It's that messy that I've actually brought my rubber gloves and my apron.
Have you?
So we're going to get proper messy later on this afternoon, yes. Not so much in Wake Up Call, but when we get to the Masterclass, proper messy this afternoon, yes.
I've never seen the rubber gloves and apron, Jan, before.
Yes. I've had the apron before, but I must admit, when I was prepping, I'd gone so many different shades of rainbow that I thought, right, I'm going to have to protect my hands. Otherwise, come the 6 o'clock show, it's just going to look like a rainbow.
Right.
So, yes.
Brilliant.
Yes,
well, we look forward to that. I mean, but you'll be in your element. You'll be in your element, so yes. So we've got lots and lots of you joining us. So, like I say, it's myself and Jan here. Now, I think we've got a lot of people in the gallery. We've got Dean. Dean's there. Dean said, good morning, Dean. And we have also officially got Sam on the faders and mixers, but I think there's other people in there. I think Charlotte's in there. I think we've got George in there. We've got them all in there. So it's going to be a busy day. So it should be a perfect show because between them we've got a lot of people doing all the buttons this morning.
Sat in that room this morning,
sat in there, yeah. Now we've got Olivia on the comment, so thank you, Olivia. And she's already said that we've got Sue Cummings in from Chestertown. We've got Charlotte Everett from Herne Bay, Just Rochelle from Florida, Linda saying good morning. Sarah Brown is sending crafty hugs to us all, especially Jan and Corrine. Well, that's nice. From Melbourne, we've got Lois from Ohio. Michelle Harris says good morning all. Betty Weaver from Idaho. Do you know what, that confuses me? It's literally the same letters, Idaho and Ohio, and I think they always come in close together. Chris Mitchell is good morning from Connecticut. Thank you. Michelle says she loves my shirt. Yes, it would make a good paper pad. Do you think I ought to take a screenshot and send it to our Leanne and say, we need that as a paper pad? I think it's clean, isn't it? It's fresh. Betty Gossels from Oklahoma. Lynn Blackledge says, good morning, ladies. Kirsty D says, morning, everyone. Maeve Seaver says, morning, everyone. Lots of rain clouds from a wet and windy Dublin. Well, if it's wet here, I'm sure it is with you. And Georgianne Curley says, hi, Corrine and Jan from Clearwater, Florida. Also CTV crew and crafter friends. It's a good day. It's my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Georgianne. We're wishing you all the best and many happy returns for your special day. Hope you're doing something nice with your day today. And if something nice for you is watching us on Crafters TV, then hope you enjoy it. So that'll be good. Now, we've got a very special pick of the day for you today. It's all about the pens. Now, I've totaled this up. You are going to get 60 pens in this bundle. Wow, that's going to sort you out for a long time. And they are £65, but I think of your platinum, that's going to be down to £52. So we're paying less than £1 a pen. So that is going to be amazing. And because it's the pick of the day, it's double points. So make sure you click on that. We'll have a look at that one in a minute. And we've got lots and lots of things. So this morning, Jan, what are we going to be looking at first thing this morning?
Well, I've just pulled a few samples out because we've got an awful lot on the show, actually, Corrine. We've got some great deals on, but the focus this afternoon at 2 o'clock is those those alcohol reinkers stroke pens. So we're going to be having a look at all things alcohol based. And I've just pulled some of these out. The team have been having a play with them to make backgrounds basically. And if you haven't come across this before, this is what the masterclass this afternoon is going to be all about. Different ways of making backgrounds using those gorgeous inks. Now the reinkers were designed to fill your alcohol pens.
Yes.
And I'm going to demonstrate that as well today, because we sometimes skip over that, and I think you assume people know how to do it, but for anybody that's just joined us or anybody that hasn't done it before, I'm actually going to show you how to use them to fill the pens. But the alcohol in there can actually do so much more. So again, we've got them used in conjunction with our gilding flakes, which we're going to do during the day. That one's got the silver gilding flakes on. This one has got the gold gilding flakes on.
I'm looking forward to that.
So just to show you how to add a little bit extra, I've also worked out how we can use them on cardstock as well. Now, traditionally, alcohol ink doesn't work with natural cardstock because it's too porous and it just soaks straight through. It's fine for colouring on when we've got something like a Nina cardstock, but to actually use to do the background work, it soaks in too fast. But I've found a way to actually use our cardstock. So I'm going to show you that as well this afternoon if you can join us at 2 p.m. But again, using it, if you have any of the alcohol lift products, which we don't actually sell, they are another brand product, but you can lift and sort of bleach areas out of the alcohol, so that's a different way of doing it. So just a little taster for those, and those are coming up in Masterclass at 2 p.m.
Can I just ask, so if to get a similar effect like that, if you didn't have those, could you do stamping clear embossing powder embossing, so you almost like get a resist effect and then put the ink over the top? Or would that not work because
the
of the
ink
paper?
would stain the embossing powder because it's alcoholic. You could do that with a water-based product, but the alcohol ink would stain the embossing powder even when it's set. So you could get an interesting technique because you'd get a raised area in it. All these things are worth a try, but to actually use it to resist, the alcohol ink wouldn't rub away like the water-based product does.
Yes.
And then later on in launch party, some of these were launched. I know these were launched during the week during the Christmas event, but we're bringing these back to you tonight. We've got those beautiful festive frames. So just to show you one or two of those. And again, we're going to be demoing with those this morning in Wake Up Call. And then I have more lined up for you in launch party later tonight. So again, these look gorgeous with those luxury cardstock packs. Then we've got the Joy. Am I the right way up? Yes, I am the right way up. So it's always back to front upside down, isn't it? So we've got those. And then we've also, I actually fell in love with these when I had a play with these. We've also got these half creator cards. So these are designed to stay, half of them attached to your card, wherever that be positioned. And then the other half as that cutting edge. So you can see if I open that up, you can see we've got that lovely sort of cutting edge around this side. So we're going to be touching on these in Wake Up Call, but again, focus mainly in launch party at 6 o'clock here in the UK. So again, you've got that lovely cutaway with the baubles there. Absolutely gorgeous. And again, you know, these are ideal for paper piecing. This one's actually had some colouring behind it, but again, you can just see if I open this out, you can see how that works, where you've got that half of it attached to the card and half of it cut away. Really, really simple idea, but very, very effective.
It's really effective, isn't it? They're
so yeah, lots to do today. Among hundreds of other offers that we've got on, we've just picked out certain ones to demo with, haven't we? I wish I could demo them all.
I know,
but we don't have time.
We don't have time, no. Can you imagine your prep as well? Your car, if you had to bring them all with you, it would be a little bit busy. Yet there's still lots of people coming through. We've also got Eleanor from Pennsylvania. We've got Gillian, Diane Hatch, Lillian Kwok says morning all. Linda Noel, good morning from Nebraska. Can't wait to see what Jan has planned. Sandra Dundas is saying hello to everyone, including Nana Jan. So does Shadaya. Good morning, Nana Jan. Morning. Everyone from West Sussex says Zoe Carver. Lynn Morton says hello everyone. She's in a wet Newcastle. Yeah, it is a bit. Jay Weaver says good morning all. And Bonita Robinson says good morning everyone. So So, yeah, there are lots of you watching today and we are very grateful. We hope we're going to give you lots of inspiration and ideas. So, yeah, I think the last few days everyone's been saying how much inspiration you have been getting from the shows, and that's just going to go off the scale today. So it's going to be really, really fun. Now, yesterday we showed you something that, oh wow, did this really hit the mark? The goodie bags. But these are build your own goodie bags. So we're going to show you on the website now where they are. So there you go, look at that, right on the front of the website. There is a little button there. Click on goodie bags, and in there you're going to find 3 tabs. One for storage, one for mixed media, and one for metal dies. Now, the storage, you can put 5 items from the storage bundle in your bag for £20. $30. Or you could look at that. There are some amazing things. They went off the scale yesterday. We sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. You can see buddy bags, you can see storage. Look at that, I'm just seeing magnetic storage sheets coming down there. There is so much on there. So make sure you do those. Look at those the wrap files. You've also got then your mixed media products. 6 of those for £30 on those, or $50. Lots and lots of lovely products there. I'm seeing cardstock. Now you can do 6 of these glossy highlights, Daubers, all the things. You've got charms in there, you've got embossing folders, stencils, all the sorts of things you might want for mixed media. Oh, I can see some more embossing folders, but you can pick 6 of those and you'll get that. And that's £30 before your discount, or pens as well. And then finally, you've got your metal dies. Now, please, please go and have a look around here, because you can get 6 metal dies, £30, $50. Yep, you've got some there, £5, still a good deal. £10, still a good deal. We keep going down and we're getting into there. We go, look at that, I can see one there, $16.99. Couple there, $16.99. And yes, you can have 6 of those for £30. Some more $16.99. We've got some $14.99s. There are some really, really good deals. So make sure you're going to have a really good route around. So instead of getting a goodie bag where you've already got 1 or 2 of the items, now you can build the goodie bag that meets your requirements, and you can get it exactly right for you. So I think that is really, really useful. So have a look at those. Now, our pick of the day, let me see if I can find it. It's here. Let me see. Oh, here we are. Right, now, we've got some classy pens. Now, this is perfect to say it is a day with re-inkers, because you're going to get your re-inkers to go with these. So you have got, 5 sets of your classic pens. Let's have a look what we've got here. You have got your jewels. So you look at those colours, really gorgeous, rich tones. 12 of your classic pens there. Remember, every pen is double-ended. You've got your bullet and your chisel. So I'm going to just show you the colours on the back of there. Aren't they amazing? So those are your jewels. Next, you have got your brights. You can see why they're brights. Look at those colours. I'm going to turn it around so you can see. Now, there won't be any duplications in here, so don't think you're going to end up with 2 of the same pens. Florals. I love the colours in these, because I'm definitely a pink purples girl, so this one really appeals to me. You've got your pastels. Again, as I said, there's no duplicates in here. And then you've got your vintage. Absolutely perfect. Now, so many gorgeous colours in there. As I said, 60 pens, £65, £65, $105. So this is £52 or $84 if you're platinum. That is less than £1 a pen. It is just over, what are we talking? £1.30, $1.30, $1.40 if you were in the US. Don't forget, also down there, you're also going to get your double points. So that is definitely worth having. Now, this is limited stock, and I think which one was it that we said would sell it out? It was the vintage. We have limited numbers of this pen pack. So once these, we sold the first few, then this could be gone, and we're going to have to look at doing a different deal. So if you want the deal with the vintage colours in, look Look at those beautiful colours. Then please don't waste your time and make sure you click on these and order them quickly. Because remember, if they're not yours if they are just in your basket. So yeah, there we are. Now, the next thing we're going to be looking at today is where we are, the re-inker. We're looking at, no, the re-inkers, right, okay. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot about what a re-inker is, other than to say they are little bottles full of your alcohol ink. Now, these have clearly been, some of these have been used, I think, so they're not totally full, but these are what you're going to get. Lots of loveliness. Now, you're going to get 12 bottles. I've got them all in here. Oh, some come in little boxes. 12 bottles in your set, and we'll go through the colours later to show you what you're going to get. But you're going to get all of these. Let me see if I can get them all on there for you. You're going to get all of these today for $24.99. Now, these should be $5.99 or $7.99 each, but you're going to get all 12 for £24 or $24.99 or $24.99. Amazing. That goes down to £19.99 or dollars if you are a platinum member. So that's the first set, and we'll go through all the colours later so you can have a look, but it'll be on the website when you click on it to show you the different colours. So we've got re-inker collection 1, and I believe we have a re-inker collection 2. There we go. So that is going to work out exactly the same, £19.99, $19.99. Oh, limited stock on both of those. There's a couple of the colours that are going to sell out the bundles. So if you want to get them, make sure you're quick. So, Jan, I've just lost all my comments, so we'll get that while Jan does. Jan, why might I want to buy the re-inkers?
Oh, right. Okie dokie. So I'm going to start, excuse the pun, but right at the very beginning today, because we normally skip into how to use the re-inkers, or I have personally, how to use them away from the pens. But these were actually designed as a refill bottle, hence the re-inker, for your range of classic pens, which are our sort of base range, if you want for a better word, of the alcohol markers. A lot of people start out with these. There's a whole range, a whole spectrum of them, which is where they get their name from. And this is often where people start out. And these are dual-ended, like Corrine mentioned, and I will show you those in a second. And then you get the bottles of re-inkers. Now, all our system for alcohol markers, if you haven't come across these before, are geared up to a code and a colour. So the LG1 is actually its code, which stands for, now then, I was going to say, I think it's light green. I can never remember if it's light green or leaf green. But yeah, it's basically the code on it. And number 1, the lower the number, the lighter the shade of that colour family. So you may get LG2, 3, 4, etc. Some of the colours have more number than others. I think the blues are probably the ones with the blues and browns. Have some of them go right up to sort of 10, 11, 12. But the lower the number, the lighter the shade. The higher the number, the deeper the shade. So classics are our sort of like starting range, and then you will have seen lots of other pens. We've got our illustrators, we've got our tri-blends, we've got our brush nibs, lots of different other pens. But basically, we are looking at a dual function, dual nib pen, and you can see on it, if I lay it on the white, you'll be able to see it even better there. You've got that lovely bullet nib. Okay, now mine, you can see, is getting a bit dry, which I've picked this one purposely so that we can refill. Yeah, it sounds a bit squeaky. It's not got enough ink in it. And then on the other end, you've got that gorgeous chisel nib, okay, which will allow you to lay more colour down. And again, even this is a bit scratchy. There should be more colour than that, which is why I chose this one to refill. So each of the pens with its code has the corresponding code on the re-inker. So I would only ever put LG1 re-inker in my LG1 pen. If you thought, oh well, I've got a 2 and it's the same code, it'll work, it will be slightly darker than what's already in here, and you will end up with a colour that matches the next one in the range. So I would always recommend matching up your code with the code on your pen to get the right colour in there and to get that longevity out of your pen. Now the pens hold roughly about 4 mils of alcohol ink, which is quite a lot with regards to colouring. The bottles hold 30 mils. Wow. So that means that you can if you're just using these solely as a re-inker, you can re-ink your pen 7 times at least. Maybe if you're doing it before it's run out completely, maybe even 8 out of there. So you can see the value of this at normal price at $5.99 to get maybe 8 re-inks out of it is a phenomenal price. But when you look at the offer that we've got on today, that brings that each re-ink down even less. So that is the main function that these were planned for. But then obviously alcohol ink will do other things, and you've seen me do all the backgrounds and things, which is where we're going to go in the masterclass this afternoon. But what I wanted to show you this morning was how to fill these if you haven't done them before. Now I would only do this with the chisel tip markers. They are designed for the classic range, and you want the chisel end because this is the end that we're actually going to take out. You've got the bullet nib in one end, the chisel nib in the other, and then there's like a felt piece inside that holds that alcohol colour. So what we want to do is we want to take out the chisel nib. So I'd usually just use my tweezers, get a good grasp on here, and it will literally just pull out of the end to expose the barrel. Okay, so now I've actually got...
Always take out the chisel nib?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. I wouldn't take out the bullet nib, and I certainly wouldn't be taking out my brush nibs because I don't want that pressure from the tweezers or my fingers to damage those brush nibs, which is why we tend to stick to the classic range as far as refilling is concerned. So this is open now. Inside here is going to go down into that little felt chamber to hold. Don't need to shake these. There's nothing separates in the alcohol ink. They are solvent based, okay? So you don't need to shake them at all. Just undo them carefully. And inside each bottle, you've got its own little dropper. You can see the lid here at the top has got its own sort of little squeezy dropper on top. So all I'm going to do is squeeze that, and that's going to draw up some of the ink out of the bottle. And if I just drop it on here, you can see we've got that beautiful goodness that's the same range once it's actually dried out. So all I'm going to do now is pop that inside, and I'm just going to squeeze 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 drops in there because this one is quite dry. If you're refilling them before they've got to that dry squeaky stage, maybe just add a couple and let it soak in. Now the bit here that's worth remembering is that they said there was like a felt piece inside. That needs to soak the ink up. So if you imagine having a spillage, okay, and you pop the cloth on it and then you moved it, you're still going to have spillage in there. You're still going to have water in the cloth. If you allow that cloth to soak up all the spillage, you'll get nothing left. So in here, the felt needs to soak up all that alcohol before we actually try and use it. Otherwise, it'll literally just spill back out again. And then I'm going to grab my nib here, and literally make sure you've got it the right way round because you can see that chisel end is wider than the bottom. And then I'm going to pop this back in and just push it back into the actual pen. And I tend to use my tweezers purely because the alcohol ink will stain your fingers. Okay, and then I'm going to lay it down. Okay, so that ink now can literally do its work. That felt will sort of absorb it, it will draw it up, and just leave it for a couple of minutes or so for that to do its job. I'm going to put the lid on, and then we'll have a look at it back on here. So again, we've got, I think the LG one, if I remember rightly, is from the second bundle we've got on, Corrine, if you want to just double check.
Is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now I've got lots of different colours with me to work with later. Some of those are available on the show today. Some of them are what I'd already got in my stash already. But they will mix and match, you know. I mean, you've only got to look at the colours on the bottles, you know. I mean, the green and the turquoise together would work beautifully. I've actually got a darker shade of green in my range here, so you could actually mix. So when you're working with them outside the pens, we can mix and match the colours, and I'll do a lot of that later in the show at 2 p.m. if you can join us. When you're working with the pens, I must just stress that it needs to be the same code on the bottle as it is on the pen itself. Okay, that is a must. Otherwise, you're going to ruin your pens and you're not really going to have, you know, sort of that range of colours. So again now, once this has come, you can see how much more depth I've got here than what I had originally. Now that ink is soaking into that nib. And again, if I bring you the chisel nib round, you see how this is actually starting. It still needs to soak in a little bit more. This one was particularly dry, but you can see the difference in the depth of colour from where we scribbled it out earlier when it was dry. So if you find that you've not got enough in, if it's still a bit scratchy and you still think it's a bit dry, after you've left it for a little while and it's still doing it, you can add another couple of drops. But if you overfill it, all that will happen when you come to do your colouring is that you'll get a big puddle of ink come out and you've basically wasted it. You want it to actually work its way through so that your pens become usable again rather than that dry scratchiness that we had at the beginning. Now, I am going to do this again at the beginning of the masterclass. So if you've got friends that aren't able to watch yet, I am actually going to repeat this because it's not something that we do often. We talk about refilling the pens, but we don't actually physically do it. So I will repeat this with a different pen and a different ink later on in the day during that masterclass show. But for now, that's just the intentional use of those re-inkers. If you want to look at how else you can use them, if you like the idea of making alcohol ink backgrounds, come and tune in with us at 2 o'clock for that masterclass this afternoon.
That's brilliant. I'm just literally going through these and having a look. I'm going to show you the sorts of colours that you've got in set 1. So I don't know, I'll do set 2 in a minute. We'll do set 2 in a minute when I've got time to sort those out. So I don't know how close they can get on them. So in set 1, we've got BG1, which is a brown grey. We've then got BP7, which is cranberry. And then we have got GT1, if I have got them in the right order. So that is ice green. We've got green grey 4 is our next one. And cocktail pink PP6 there. You've got sea spray, which is JG2, and raw sienna, GB7. Holly is your JG7. OR3, which is your bright orange. Then you've got your soft purple in PL1, pink violet PV3. Oh, we've gone off the screen. Maybe the cat, there we go, PV3. And the 12th one is TB3, True Blue. It's the denim, True Blue 3. So if those are the colours that you are liking, then you want collection 1. Now, I was working this out. These are coming in at less than £2, $2 a set. I think it works out about £1.60 per re-inker. Now these should be $5.99 or $7.99 a set, and you're going to get them for about £1.60 or $1.60. That is phenomenal, phenomenal value. You're saving 65%. So even if you think, oh, I don't need OR3 at the moment, don't worry, you will need it. If you've got all 216 of our classic pens, one day you will need OR3. So this is definitely the time when you can save 65%. That's 65% at $24.99. You're then going to get an even better price on there. I'll go through the other ones in a minute on collection 2 when I've had time to sort it out. So what we're going to look at next while I get those sorted. Right, oh yes, you did tell me, and I forgot. Right, quirky sentiments. Now, maybe you've made an amazing background with your inks and you want something to stamp over it, or maybe you just need some really good sentiments. We're going to give you these. These are our quirky sentiments. Now, you've got, Lord, give me coffee to change the things I can, and wine to accept the things I can't. Now the deal will come on the screen in just 1 minute. So that's the first one. The second one you're going to get is Life is Beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? Now you're going to get all of these stamps, all 8 of these, and in this deal. You're then going to get Some Bunny Loves You, which is really cute. You're then going to get, oh, should we go to the right way up? To the moon, I love you to the moon and back. I like that. That, you know, you can see these are going to be really, really useful. And then you've got, this one is really good. Families are like fudge, mostly sweet with a few nuts. I'm just going to leave you to sink that one, let that one sink in, and then decide where that one applies. The next one we've got is life is better with a cat, but maybe you're a dog person. All guests must be approved by the dog. Now, if you want all 8 of those today, £27.93 or $41.65. And again, your platinum price is dropping even lower, £22.34 or $33.32. Now, Jan's already mentioned this briefly, but earlier over the weekend or at the end of last week, we launched our Christmas half creator cards. You're going to get all 6 in the collection, and Jan was showing you some beautiful samples of these where they cut into the cardstock or they cut out. Now, these are large dies, so you're getting a lot of metal. They're really, really clever. You would really need to see these in action, and Jan is going to show you. This beautiful price for these. You're going to pay £100 or $117 for all 6 of these. Whether you want traditional with the bells and the poinsettia, whether you want something a bit more modern with the baubles and the Christmas tree, I think we've got everyone covered. Your platinum price for these right down there is £80 or $93.60. Absolutely gorgeous. You're going to be able to do so many techniques on these. You're going to be able to colour them, you're going to be able to do your paper piecing, you're going to want to put them onto acetate. There's so many different ways to use these, and then we should go into having a look at one of those in just 1 minute. So yeah, these are really, really gorgeous. Now, who else has joined us today? Oh, we've got some questions coming in as well. So Sandy Kessler is here from Florida's Treasure Coast. Melanie D says morning all. Jerry Johnson said good morning from Southern Maryland. Hello Jan, Corrine and crew. Really enjoy Jan's demos. I'm really looking forward to them as well. We've got Jane Quigley saying hello from a gloomy, rainy Stourbridge. Oh, that's not good. Marta says good morning everyone. I don't know if we know the answer to this. Sue, she says, are the re-inkers the same when they had US customer only shows? I don't know. They're probably, looking at this, looking at the numbering, these are bundles that have been created today. So these exact bundles didn't exist before today. So I would say they're the same product, but there will be a different colour combination. So yeah, all I can suggest is you look at which re-inkers you already get and then buy the bundle or bundles that match up better. Robbie Hedrick says, good morning Jan and Corrine from Alabama. Jane Quigley said, I've just ordered both sets as a lot of my pens need help. Question, do these evaporate in storage? That's the re-inkers.
No alcohol should evaporate as long as you've got that seal airtight. I mean, I've got a container here that's just got my isopropyl alcohol in, and you can see there, I don't know if you can see the level in it. You know, I filled that up, and it's not, as long as your seal is airtight,
yeah,
it shouldn't evaporate.
Yeah.
If it's out in the open air, yes, they will evaporate. If you leave the lids off for any length of time, if you leave your pen lids off, your pens will dry out because alcohol will evaporate. It's actually the alcohol that the colours in that evaporates. When we're colouring, we always say to you, leave it for a little while so that the alcohol evaporates. But as long as it's sealed tightly and the bottles are made to seal, there shouldn't be any problem with it. I've never had any of mine evaporate. And then as you know, I work in my conservatory, which can be very, very warm on occasion.
Okay, perfect. Jane, I hope that helps. Kirsty D says, I think I'm going to have to get my re-inkers out for Masterclass. I don't use them to their full potential. I don't think we all do. We've got Mary says, hello from Wisconsin. Zoe Carver says, I foresee the future. Me plus re-inkers plus refilling the pen equals terrible mess. Jan didn't get into a mess. With a bit of practice, I'm sure you can do it as cleanly too, Zoe. Beth Lucas says, good morning from Indiana. Laura Simmons says, re-inkers with a big love heart. Colleen says, morning from Florida. She says, good morning, everyone, from Wesley Chapel in Florida. And Kelly says, I'm in love with these dies. I made a purchase when Michelle did a demo. I can't wait for them to arrive. Now, I think Jan's going to do a demo. So let me just go through quickly what you're going to get if you want to get get these. You're going to get your Snowflake, and for each of these, remember they're going to cut into your cardstock and cut out of your cardstock. So you've got the Snowflake. Isn't that gorgeous? You've got the bells. Again, I think this one just lends itself to paper piecing with all those nice large areas. Or put it on your acetate and coloured it. It would look beautiful. The Christmas tree. I've seen this one coloured an awful lot. It looks beautiful. You've then got your baubles. Beautiful baubles. And your poinsettia, again, that's another one that all our design team have loved paper piecing. And finally, you've got the wreath. Isn't that beautiful? And as I was saying, it really is a lovely mix of contemporary and traditional as well. And we said platinum price is £80 or $93.60. And Jan, what have you got to show us, please?
Right, I've got you some samples just to give you an idea of how these work, and then we're actually going to do a demo with them. So we've called them half creator cards, mainly to sort of emphasise that half and half cut that you're going to get with your die. So when you actually inspect the die, you'll see that half of it doesn't have an external cutting edge, so it stays embedded in your chosen cardstock, whether that's your card blank, whether it's a matte layer like this one, however you want to use it. And then the other half is actually got your external edge with it, which cuts out that beautiful detail. So you've got a little bit of cut in and cut out. So however you want to use them, you know, you could actually layer this onto a piece of matte layer. You know, you don't have to have the card open like this one is, but I just think with that dark background in there and then this over the top, it just gives it a really nice effect there. And then again, we've got those lovely bells. So again, this one's actually been popped onto the front of a card here. So you can see we've used it as a creator card, but I just love how you're getting that lovely cut edge on one side, but you've got the bulk of the card remaining at the other side. This has just been cut a couple of times so that you've got that lovely little drop shadow with the gold. Really, really pretty. I love the craft card, as you know, but I think that is real sort of simplicity at its best, giving that wow factor. And then again, you know, this one's actually been cut. We've used the half the other way. So I've actually got it cut out of the back of the card here. So the half of it's that way, but then we've actually used that as our fold line to make like a tent fold with that half piece almost behaving like an edgeable. So lots and lots of different ways to do these. And then again, use your die cut. Just added a little bit of stenciling with the ink to create some detail in the background there as well. Like Corrine was saying, you know, using those pens, you know, if you like your colouring, just adding some detail with the pens is enough to bring those to life. It really is. That's just had some alcohol ink used with it to bring all those colours out. Again, that gorgeous poinsettia there. Beautiful if you want to colour inside it, if you want to paper piece inside it, you could put acetate behind it and then glitter inside it. You could do acetate and do your stained glass window effect. Anything that's got that big open space like this one has. Really, really pretty. That one's just had some ink behind it, but again, you can see if I put this behind here, you can see how that edge piece is all cut away. Really, really pretty there. And then the last one in that collection, very, very delicate on that one, just that wreath. And again, you know, double cutting so that you've got that little bit of drop shadow, and then just adding some detail either with your inks, with your pens, with your watercolours, however you want to work with it. I just think they're really striking. And again, that creator card range is designed for that element to be the basis of your card there. So just adding sentiments that we've all got lying around. We do have some sentiments on the show for you later today. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a demo with that beautiful winter snowflake. That one really, really sort of appealed to me. So in the metalwork, decent size piece of metal here. On our packaging, it's saying it's approximately 5.5 by just over 5.5 because you've got the little extension pieces top to bottom or side to side, depending on how you're going to use it there. So we're going to work with that one. We'll take that one off its carrier sheet. And what I've done is I've already prepared a piece of cardstock, and I've used some of our water reactive inks just with the applicator to get this one ready. And I've got the Oasis in the centre and the Midnight around the outside. And then I'm going to reactivate this, even though I did this previously. I'm actually just going to reactivate this with, because it's water reactive, we should be able to get this going just with a little bit of water on there to get some definition in the ink. Okay, so all I'm doing is just popping my brush into plain water and then just giving it a good old splatter. And then leave it for a minute or two because you want that water to do the work. You want it to start displacing the ink. So it starts moving it around. You can just see here where it's actually starting to work. I'll hold it up in a second when we've got that effect. Get rid of the excess there. The longer you leave it, the better the effect you'll get. But bearing in mind we are wanting to use this in the die cutting machine, I'm actually going to take a piece of kitchen towel now and I'm just going to pop it over and blot it. You can see straight away where it picks up the ink. It's actually taken that and removed it. It's like a faux bleaching effect. And then when we remove that, you can see how we've got that lovely sort of splattered effect. Okay. So I'm going to take my die. It doesn't really matter which way around because I'm going to stick this onto my card front. I've actually made the card the same size and we're going to put half of it on the card front. So just on top and bottom of your die, there's a little tiny extension piece where the die cutting edge starts and finishes. So in this case, mine goes all the way around this side, but there isn't a cutting edge at this side. All right, so all I've done is I've marked halfway on my piece of card so that I can get this central. And then I just need to grab a little bit of double-sided tape and I'm going to pop this in position because I don't want it to move while it's in the Gemini. Now the dies will work in any of your machines. These are just thin metal dies. So whichever machine you use, even if it's not a Gemini brand, you will still get a really nice cut with them. They are a wee bit big for the, depends on the cardstock. The die itself will fit in your junior plates, but it depends how big your piece of cardstock that you're working or your project that you're working on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring up my larger Gemini plates because my piece of card is 6.5 inches square, which is just a wee bit bigger than my Gemini Junior plates. So I'm going to pop this one on here, pop my shims in. These look as if they've been well loved already.
How many people, Jan, were singing when you said what inks you'd used? You'd used your Midnight and your Oasis. How many people were singing songs? Is that not, can you not say, that's something that Midnight at the Oasis.
Oh, of course. Do you know, my mind hadn't gone there.
Hadn't gone that? As soon as you said it, I was singing in my head. I'm not going to sing out loud.
No, mine didn't go there at all.
I'm not singing out loud, but yeah, straight away it was going round and round in my head.
So again, just pass through your die cutting machine. And we're going to get that half of it cut away and half of it stay in the actual cardstock. So we'll get rid of those extra plates under there and then take this one. Let's just have a little peek there. Yep, absolutely perfect on the back. Get rid of the excess pieces. And then what we're going to do is just release the tape so that I can take my die away. So again, just rolling it back because that cardstock is just still a fraction damp where we did the water splashing. But if you roll the tape, I found it comes away a bit better than just ripping it away. So again, same on this side. There we go. And then turn it over and this one should literally just peel out of the die there. So what we've got left then is this gorgeous element. Just take those last little pieces out of there. And we've got it secured in this side of the card. So it's actually stayed in this side, but this side has actually released. So what I want to do now is just bring my scoreboard into play. And I am going to score where I'd marked that centre line. I'm just going to line it up on my scoreboard, which is why we have that black line down here. It's really easy to find the line you want to work on. And I'm going to score from the top to where the die cut is and from where it's cut at the bottom to the edge of the card. Okay, that's all I want to do on there so that I can actually fold this now in half, like so. I just want to make sure that those pieces line up nicely, and then give that a little tiny burnish in the centre there. So I've actually got a piece now that creates that lovely sort of shaping. Okay, so we've got that piece. Yep, now we're going to use all of this on our card now, okay? So I'm just going to flick over pretty much to the one that I did earlier, which is exactly the same, other than I've used one of my punches just to round the corner. So you can see we're on the same thing.
Yeah.
This one's had chance for the water splatters to work a little bit more because it's had longer. And I've just rounded the corners because I've done that on my card as well. So I've got my card blank at the ready, which is 6.5 inches square. I've just taken a piece of textured cardstock that we're going to pop on the inside, like so. Again, using your tape pen, using your wet glue, using your finger lift tape, whatever your preferred way of sticking. And then that one's just going to go on the inside so that we've got a bit of colour on the inside. And then I've also folded half of this one as well. So I've looked at the halfway mark on the front of my card and I've actually folded this one. So we're just going to burnish that one in place as well because that's been in my bag on the way here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the side that is still attached to the die to the front of the card. But I'm going to stick this half down, but I'm going to leave this bit free so that we've actually got that kind of shape going on. So all I want to do now then, and I'm going to use a little bit of my collal glue for this so that I've got a bit of movement when we actually come, because it's the same size as the card, I want to be able to just sort of wriggle it into place. So I'm going to avoid the whole die cut and just put some glue around the edge here. Where
it's lovely to see a really different way to use these because we're quite quick to snip away that other half, aren't we?
Yeah.
And you don't need to.
And again, I want it just on the actual card base and avoid, I've not put any glue on the die cut element at all. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up with the edge of the card, like so, and onto this side. So I've made it the same size as the card, but I've not stuck any of the die cut down. But using that wet glue then just allows me to wriggle that into place and make sure I'm happy with the positioning. And then just give it a press where we've put the glue. Okay, and then I've made a little sentiment that it had to be, didn't it? Just let it snow because it is the snowflake. So we're actually going to pop that on, as you know, with my little bit of insurance, mainly because we're going on to the ink again. Okay, a little bit of extra there, and that one's going to go onto the top here. I've got a nice little bow to just finish off the detail there at the top. And then I've got a nice gem that I'm going to pop inside that snowflake. Oops. So I just want to take that one off there, and I'm just going to put that one in the centre. Now, I can afford to stick it to one half, but not the other. There we go. So that's the front of our card, seeing it as it is. But then when we open it, we've got that element here. If you want to pop another matte layer in here, if you want to write your message inside, or again, sometimes I put my matte layers on the back for messaging. But if I turn you this one round to the front and stand it up, it will stand. And you've got that little bit of a detail here with that snowflake just standing out from the rest of the card.
That is absolutely beautiful. I love it. And the colours are just so icy and fresh.
They are, aren't
absolutely
they? Those
gorgeous.
Blues are perfect.
Brilliant.
But you can do it in any colour.
Yeah,
it's just
but I think the
blue
blues
you really
work.
associate with it, don't you?
You do. So that is brilliant. Right, I've lost quite where we got up to. I think got there. So we've got Paw Print ×4 says good morning from South Carolina. We've got Suzanne Dawn says good morning, crafty friends and CC crew. Can't believe I have to go out soon and it's a Jan day. I know. Good job we can save these shows. Kristen says hello from the Space Coast. Is IG 1 or 2 in any of the re-inker bundles, or any idea when it's back in stock? Unfortunately, it's not. I'm going to show you bundle collection 2 in 1 minute. And unfortunately, we never know here when things are going to come in stock, because there's a lot of issues at play about when things are coming back. So unfortunately, I don't know the answer to that, Kristen. And I'm not sure if anyone could get that. But if we find out, we'll let you know. Agnes says, good morning from Texas. Suzanne says, but both sets of re-inkers, mainly to use with isopropyl on tiles. Fabulous bargain. Yeah. Brilliant. Jane Quigley says, can you imagine flip markers on that tree? I can't wait to play with these. Oh, yes, especially some of those metallic flip markers. Oh, quick question for Jan. She says, can you emboss, just a minute, she's just getting something, and not cut with the Snowflake die?
Yes. Yes, you can emboss any die, and it's about that plate combination. I always have to really think about this one. I've got it written down at home at the side of my desk because it's one that you have to really think about. But the idea of embossing with any die is to just get an impression from it. Now, what you would possibly do is get an outline round the edge that has the cutting edge on, and maybe just an indentation at the other side, but I don't think that would look untoward. But I always have to work this through. Let me have a think. We need a piece of cardstock. Let me just grab a piece of card just to work out which way around. What we're actually wanting it to do is you will need your rubber embossing mat. And what we want to do is we want the embossing mat to give the impression rather than using one of the solid mats, which is where you're going to get the cut from, because that solid surface is providing an area to cut against. So let me think. As I say, I always have to think about this. It's going to be die on cardstock, and it wants to be against there, I think.
Yep.
That's right, isn't it?
Yep.
And then because we've put the rubber embossing mat in, you know the rule with the rubber embossing mat, always this one comes out. So we always take the magnetic shim out. If you put all of these in together, this is going to cut through your card, potentially through your mat, and you're in all sorts of problems. We have to take out the equivalent thickness, so we take out the magnetic shim so that it doesn't apply, well, the machine's going to apply the same pressure, but because this is narrower now, it's not going to have enough pressure to push the die through the cardstock and cut it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So you actually want your base plate with your rubber embossing mat on, then your cardstock and your die, and then just your frosted or clear shim there and your top plate.
Thank you. That's really, really useful. So that would be brilliant. And that was for Ramona. Brilliant. Hannah Gosling-Smith says, rounding the corners of my card blanks is not something I ever think of doing. It makes such a difference, doesn't it? It looks so professional. Lois says, beautiful card. Suzanne Dawn says, very pretty. She loves the colours. Love the card, says Shadaya. Beautiful card, Jan. She can't wait to get the dies and start playing with these, says Colleen. Diane Hatch says, so pretty, love the blue. Michelle Harris says, gosh, I so want this set. Kathy Green says, gorgeous card, Jan, and good morning, Jan and Corrine. Bless it. Hannah's telling me I should call the Aurora Borealis gems, Northern Lights gems. I was really struggling with the name yesterday, yeah. So she's off to her parents for lunch, so we'll re-watch later. Don't want to miss Jan's demos. Totally agree with you. Right, we're going to have a break in 1 minute, but I did promise you I'd show you collection 2 of the re-inkers. You're still getting 12, you're still paying £24.99 or dollars, and you're still getting them at a platinum price of £19.99 or dollars. But the colours in these are completely different from the other ones. But like, I'm seeing OR2 there, and I saw OR3 in the other one. So you're getting quite nice sets. We're going to start with Fruit Pink PP5 right at the end there. There we go. Then we're going to go to Russet TN8, Saddle Brown TN5, Blue Black TB9, Nectarine, which is the OR2. There's not very many of this left at all, this collection. Chestnut is MB4, there we go. We've got LG1, which is our chartreuse, which you just saw Jan filling up. JG4 is our jade green. Ice Grey 8 is your IG8 at the end there. Then you've got Walnut GB11, burnt sienna, which is GB10, and finally up at the end, portrait pink, which is FS3. Really useful one. I also got your fair skin collection. So that is really, we use our fair skin pens a lot. So you might want that. So there you go. Oh, there, look at that. Panning along that, brilliant. So you can see all those colours and you can see which collection, one or two, you would rather get. Okay, so we're going to have a break now. Let you check out whatever you've got in your basket. I'm hearing this collection is limited stock. There aren't very many left at all. Oh, when I say not many, there's 6. And Jan's not done a demo with them yet, never mind this afternoon. So if you do want this full collection, I'm sure we can come up with some different collections for later. We'll just make them a bit smaller. We'll just make them a little bit. Poor Jan, she's like, oh, I want my demos. No, we will still be doing some, but we'll just have to take out the ones that have sold out. So if you're thinking, I really want those, and apparently it is that orange one. That's 5 left. It's going down. It's going down. Let's see how many are left when we come back after having a look at this video all about Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, $1 or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get social with us. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, on your TV or tablet, you can get so close to the action, it's like you're in the studio with us. You can ask questions about products or crafty techniques. Get hints and tips from our expert demonstrators. Plus, share pictures of your crafty makes with our amazing community. Crafters TV, getting you closer to the crafty action.
We get to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people. We know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows.
Some of the customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. I love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done like craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
Welcome back. Right, now, we launched some really exciting, well, we launched a lot of exciting Christmas goodies last week, but on Sunday, we launched a couple of really good products, and if you haven't seen them, now's the chance. Now, first of all, I want to show you our 12 by 12 paper pads. These aren't part of a collection. These are 2 standalone Christmas paper pads. You've got Christmas Cheer, which is your contemporary, and then you've got Season's Greetings, which is your traditional. So I'm going to show you these. Now, they are, as you'd expect, double-sided paper pads. Look at these, aren't they out? I'm going to go that way. I'm going to go that way. I'm going to learn from the best, from Ben. I'm watching him. Look at that. There we go. Look at this. So this is the traditional. Aren't they beautiful? But look at the backs of the papers as well. 12 by 12. I love this sheet. 30 toppers if you want it. 30 toppers, and you're getting 3 of each sheet. So if you want to do decoupage, absolutely brilliant. Then you're getting all of these. Look at the depth. Look at the layers. I mean, they are beautiful. So they're not part of any collection. You're not seeing them elsewhere. These are just some gorgeous, gorgeous stand-alone paper pads. Think of these with those half creator cards as your backgrounds. They would be stunning. I love the colour palette on here. I love the backgrounds. Look at that, the baubles with that bauble die. Oh, wow. And you can see on here. So that is your traditional, and we call that Season's Greetings. 36 sheets, 12 designs, 3 of each. And your other one is your Christmas Cheer. And this is what we'd call more of a contemporary. So it's sort of like more fun images. It's more of your Scandi drawings. You know, look at that. You've got your pointed Christmas trees. Still very, very similar colours. You've still got your sheets with your 30 toppers on, again, times 3. But look at the backgrounds. We've got stripes, we've got spots. Really, really beautiful of these. Now, we're going to give you both of these paper pads for £29 or $39. Oh, I just got to go back to one. Just showing you that. Imagine cutting out these little houses. I did a demo on Hobby Maker with that and made that like a border. Absolutely gorgeous. These are coming out at £14.50 each. But if you're platinum, £23.20 or $31.20. Absolutely brilliant. You're not going to want to miss these. We've got a few, but I don't think they're going to hang around for long because we've already sold quite a lot of these this morning without even mentioning them. So you're going to get 72 sheets, but don't forget you've got double-sided, so that's almost like 144 designs in total. They are your 180 GSM, perfect for your mats and layers, but also perfect for gift bags or, you know, and boxes, all sorts of wonderful things. So yeah, maybe you want to consider popping those in because I don't think they're going to be around for a couple of weeks. I think they are going to go quite quick. Then the next one we want to show you, and I'm super excited about this. And can I just say, yesterday I recorded a little video that's going to go up on social media where I mixed the paper pad in with this. Now I want to show you this because this is absolutely amazing. It's a wax seal kit. Let me show you this. You're going to get 3 different seals, and now Jan's going to show you how to assemble them and work them. And you're going to get 2 little pots of your wax melt. Now you don't need many, 3 or 4, depending on what you're doing, is as many as you need to use. They're going to last a long time. Look at the gold, isn't that opulent? So rich, and I love that. It's a true silver. And then you're going to get, like I say, the 3 different ones. You're going to get the little burner, you're going to get the spoon to welt your waxes in, you're going to get your like I say, your wax melts, and then you're also going to get your actual seal tool as well. Platinum price for that, $27.99 or go the right way up, or $31.96. And these 2 items go so well together. Have you enjoyed playing with this, Jan?
Oh my goodness, I couldn't put it down. I'd planned all my prep out for the day, what I needed to do, and I got playing with this. About 2 hours later, I'm like, Jan, you've got other things to do. Stop making wax seals. I've just brought a few of them to show you in a little while. But yeah, this has just sort of completely altered the way that we use the wax. It's like we have had wax seals in some of our Sarah Signature collections, which some of you may have already got with they were like a wax stick that had a wick going through it that you lit and melted the wax. This has actually brought it to a whole different level. Very, very coveted piece of equipment. It's sort of been in the pipeline a little while. It's under our mixed media brand, which we are now starting to develop. You've seen all the glitter paste, you've seen the shimmer sprays, we've got lots of other things in the pipeline. But yeah, in this one, we're actually going to get the little sort of station to put the candle in, and I've already put that on. Mine obviously has got a gap in here because I've popped it on. You can just see here where mine's missing and my little spoon's missing because I've put it on. It does take a little while to warm up and warm the metal. So you will need, not provided in the box, just cheap as chips little tea lights. All right, they're about 3/4 of an inch in depth, all right, and I buy these in like packs of 50 from some of our local discount stores, and they are literally, they don't have to be fragrance, they don't have to be anything special, just cheap as chips, whatever you can get your hands on. And that's what I've actually put inside mine. If I just lift you this up now, you can see here, if I take the wood away here, I've got my candle going at the ready. And then you get your little workstation here, which has got that beautiful wood surround, so you don't have to worry about it getting hot when you pick it up. And then your little spoon. Now, when it first starts going, I tend to put my spoon in at an angle. Any of you that are familiar with flames and pyrotechnics, anything like that, knows that the flame needs air. Now, there are gaps around the little station for the air to get in, but I did find when I first lit mine, and Corrine just asked me exactly the same question when I first got here, was about if you cover it up too soon and the candle hasn't got going properly, it tends to just snuff it out a little bit. So make sure that your candle wick is actually burning properly. And then I've put the spoon in ready to sort of receive the wax. You're also going to get your gorgeous wooden handle and 3 different seals in here that's just literally screw into place. So we'll pop one of those in place. You've got the snowflake, you've got the stars, and you've got some bells in there. And then you've also got your 2 bottles of wax beads. So if we move those out of the way, you can see here we've got gold and silver in our wax beads. Now each one of these contain 50 little beads, and you need, like Corrine said, between 3 or 4 to make a good seal. So I'm just going to tip 4 of the gold ones out. You can mix the colours. Okay. And whoops, there we go. So they're going to go a long way. And then once you're ready with these, we're just going to literally pop those straight into that little receiver, which is already warmed through now, so they should start melting straight away. Now in my little goodie box, I've also got just some little wooden cocktail picks, and I tend to use these just for moving them, you know, making sure that they've melted and moved. You can give it a swirl at the end. So we just make sure that we're still, yep, my light's still on. So I've actually got my craft mat here. Because this is like a silicone coating on here, they're going to come off here really nice and easy. And I've got my chosen stamp at the ready. So what we need to do is heat the wax. Once the wax is ready, we're going to pour it onto here, and it will automatically pour out. Unless you pour it across the mat, it will automatically form a nice little circle for you. And then you don't want to press this in too hard, otherwise it's going to displace all the wax and you'll end up with a big thick ring round the outside and very little in the middle. If you just hold this over it and pop it in it and let the weight, because with it being metal, it's solid metal, let the weight of it actually sink into the wax and you'll get that lovely formation. So almost there, just takes a couple of minutes for that wax to melt there. Absolutely, I just love the process of it. The wax melting on its own just fascinates me. You get this gorgeous swirl, and especially if you mix the colours. So just while we're waiting for that to finish, I'll show you some of the ones that I've done. There is a couple in here that uses some of the other colours, but I started off with the little silver snowflake, which is the one in the collection that you're getting today. And then I also did the gold stars, which is the gold that we're going to use in a second. Okay, now I did have the other collection, so I started playing about mixing them, and you can just see a slight difference there where I've mixed the silver with the darker platinum that was in. So those of you that managed to get hold of the additional collections of wax beads, that one's just got a little bit of platinum in. This one was actually the rose gold. And then also adding things to them. So this one I've actually, I don't know whether I can pick it, I think you can just see it on the camera there, where I've just gone over the detail on the bells there with some gilding wax over the top of it. It could be your metallic markers if you've got any of the metallic pens or the metallic inks, anything like that, just to highlight some of the detail on top there. And then this was the Christmas red. Again, we have sold out of those at the moment. And this is actually one of the stamps from a previous collection. It's just got those lovely little hearts on there. So what I did immediately was go into my old collections and actually pulled out one of the handles, because then I've got two on the go ready to, you know, if I've got the next one working, I've got this one ready to go while the other one's cooling, okay? So if you do have any of the other collections, you can use, you know, what you've got in there. Now, going back to the wax, that looks pretty good to me. We can just say there in the corner, if we give it a little swirl, it's looking fine. So we're actually going to pour this now. And as I say, if you use the mat, you'll find that it comes nice and easy when you come to get this seal off. So all I'm going to do, bearing in mind at all times that the metal is hot. That's why we've put you that lovely wooden handle on here. So please don't touch the metal part of the spoon. And you do have to do this reasonably quickly, because when this starts to cool, obviously it's not going to work. So I'm just going to hover over the top. I'm going to drop that in and let the weight do its job. I've not pressed it in, I've just let it sink into here. Now again, depending on what you're working on, I've got my glass mat under here, which is quite cold anyway, but depending on what you're working on, depends how long it takes for those to actually finish and set. So while that's doing, you can clean out your little spoon. If we just have a look back over here, there is still a little bit of wax in there, so just a piece of kitchen paper, and you can actually clean out your spoon. But again, please be aware of how hot that metal is. I'm not too worried about that. What I want to do now is add some of the silver. Now, because there's some residue left in here, I'm just going to pop 3 of my silver beads in there. Okay, just make sure that I'm still lit underneath, and we'll let those melt at the same time. And then we're going to swirl it to get a little bit of both colours, and we'll bring in the other one. And this is what I mean about if you've got any handles from previous kits, you've not got to wait while this one's finished now before you can do the next one. I've probably got about half a dozen of these. I've just pulled one of them out. The other thing that I'm going to try and find, and I haven't had chance yet, is to see whether I can get another spoon, so that when I've done with one, I can put the next one on to be heating up. Now you can see now that this is hot, these are actually going quite quickly now. And then we're just
putting it into a hot spoon, aren't you?
Yeah, we're just going to give it a sort of a swirl to make like a marbly effect, and then we'll come in with the stars on this one. Now, to check whether these are ready, you should be able to get your metal off quite easily. See, that's actually come off the silicone rather than the metalwork. So rather than sort of prise it off, I'm just going to leave it on the glass, which is a bit cooler, for a second until it's cooled down, and it should just peel away without you having to sort of rip it off, for want of a better word. So again, I've just swirled what was left of the gold that's in there, and again, move that one across. And then again, I'm just going to pour this so that we've got a mixture of both of them.
So you almost see the marbling effect.
Yeah, there's just a little bit. There wasn't much gold left in it, but it's just a little tiny hint. And then again, I've got my second one. Hold it over the top and just let it sort of sink and find its own sort of place. Now this one should now, see how easy it comes off once it's cooled down. You shouldn't have to prise it off.
So Jen, you've done those on your mat, but you could be doing that directly onto your project, couldn't you, if you wanted to?
Yes, absolutely. I tend not to, because I'm a coward.
Right.
And I always remember our Debs, bless her. She'll never ever
use the video all the time.
She'll never be able to forget that incident. I have done them straight onto the back of envelopes and things, but I do tend to do them separate, and then I keep them. I've got a little box in my drawer that's got all the different ones in. Perfect. So that when I actually want to make a project, I've got something ready.
So how do you then attach that to your project?
Usually with a little glue dot.
A glue dot.
A little glue dot, yeah. So what I've done is I've taken one of those lush papers from that paper pad you had there, Corrine.
Yeah.
And I've actually used my enveloper. So this is a 5x7 envelope, which started out, if I remember rightly, it was 9 3/8 square. So I had to cut down my 12x12 sheet to 9 3/8 and use my enveloper to actually create the envelope. And I've literally just made a little piece to write who it's going to. I've added some twine and a charm. Now I didn't actually seal this one so that I could show you how it worked, but I've put the glue dot behind it ready so that it's literally just on the back of the envelope, and then I can seal it shut. But the beauty of using those beautiful papers is that because they're double-sided, you've actually got the inside of your envelopes decorated as well as the outside.
I never thought of that.
Absolutely gorgeous. And then again with the seal. Now, if you're ready, if you've got something to go inside here, I'm just going to take this off now because it's continuing to get warm. If you've got something to go inside that, like Corrine says, you can actually seal this and actually pour the wax onto it and work directly onto your envelope. As I say, I prefer to make them separate and stick them down. I don't know, things happen to me, Corrine, and I don't want to end up pouring something and it going everywhere, and so I'm safer with this process, just on my, my terms. And then I've got all these, as I say, and what I tend to do, you can see where I've written on the back of them, rose gold, which is so that I know which colours I've used. Yeah. This one was rose gold with a little bit of gold swirled into it. That one was the plain red. So any of them that are a mixture, S&P, it's not salt and pepper, it's silver and platinum. Yeah, and then we've got the plain ones. And then, as I say, I've got a little box with these in that I keep them in, so that if I want one for a project, I've literally just got them to grab. So this one should be separated now. There's not a massive amount of gold in it, but it's just running through it slightly. I don't know whether it'll pick it up on the camera there. There's just a little tiny bit in there. I can see it, yeah, you can just pick it up where my finger is there. There's just a little tiny swirl of the gold inside it.
Isn't that beautiful though?
And then just really simply with the gilding wax, any of your gilding waxes that you've got, you need the tiniest little bit. We talk about having very little when we're using it on a card, but for this you need the tiniest little bit, and then just where it's raised in the centre, you can actually add, because you work in sort of wax which is solvent on wax which is solvent, they work beautifully together, and you can highlight. So if you've got any of the coloured waxes, it won't work with a water-based wax. It does need to be solvent, otherwise the water one will just rub straight off. But again, you can just see how that's picked up that detail inside it. Reminds me of a compass, this one as well. I think it'd work well with sort of nautical
That looks
things.
lovely with the gold on top of the silver.
Yeah. So simple to do, and I got absorbed in this, and I looked at the clock and it was like 2 hours later, and I'm like, crikey, I've still got loads of prep to do yet. So yeah, really good fun. Really good fun. And then when you've finished, let the spoon cool down, because as I say, the metal will get warm. And then you just need a piece of kitchen paper that's well folded, and your wax will just literally wipe out of the spoon. And I tend to do this before I put it away, because you can let the wax settle in there and peel it all out, but it's not as easy once it's dried. So again, just give it a good wipe out and it's good to go, ready for next time then.
Absolutely perfect. Thank you. That was a really lovely, thorough sort of showing you how those wax seals work. And it's really got a lot of people excited about these. We've got Louise says, good morning, everyone. Sue Creft says, hello, everyone. US Ohio here. Sarah Brown was saying, I was doing the dishes when I saw Jan's demo. Love it, Jan. You are very talented and inspiring.
Oh, thank you, Sarah.
That's nice. Laura Gray says, good morning. Mary Beth Doyle says, good morning, everyone. Joining from Minnesota. Love to see Jan here. Lynn Morton's just put in an order with the 2 sets of re-inkers. You were lucky, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Heather Springer said, I have so many wax beads, but so excited to get this set. 2. Sandra says, Jan, are the bottles glass or plastic?
They are glass.
They are glass.
And I'm already eyeing these up for future mixed media projects. I've got at home, and I was going to put them in. I thought, no, I'll bring them in the bottle vials. But at home, I've got like probably a similar size to this, and it's got all those little tiny compartments in. And I did consider putting the beads into those so that I've got them all in one place. But I thought, no, for the purpose of the show, I wanted to show you them as they came. But yeah, I've already got plans as to what I can do with the bottles, along with the frame that all my laser cut die frames came out of. You know, the tic-tac-toe frame that they came in. Yeah, I just need time. I just need some time to play with them, and then I'm sorted.
Perfect. Laura Simmons agrees with you. She said that would be great to have extra spoons to use multiple colours in one project. Exactly. Bonita says, first wax seals for me, and I can't wait to play with them.
Honestly, it is such good fun.
Yeah. Donna says, I heard about this. She says, our Debbie redeemed herself the other day. She did a perfect wax seal.
She did, bless her. She came over to Michelle. I was watching, and she came over, didn't she? And she did it onto the mat.
She did.
You can work straight onto your glass mat, but you'll get them, you have to sort of prise it off. It does stick to the glass more so than the silicone. If you've got a silicone craft mat, even if it's just a little piece, they come off there so easy, as you saw. You don't have to sort of prise them off.
Yeah.
But yeah,
brilliant.
Absolutely fabulous.
Heather Spring says, I love that you can remelt the wax seal if it isn't quite right. Perfect. Just pop it back in the spoon. Okay, Lillian. Lynn says, I just had an idea using chocolate in the wax melt. Lillian, these aren't food grade. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to leave it there and say these haven't been tested to food grade because we never had any intention. But what you do with your products is entirely up to you. Sandra Peak, another question says, since it's wax, what glue works best to attach to the card that will make it okay to travel through the post-sorting machines?
Right, now that's something worth thinking about because my husband worked for a very long time. He did 24 years for the Royal Mail, which is our main mail provider here in the UK. And he used to work on the machinery of an evening sorting the mail ready to go out. And he said the number of envelopes that were damaged because of things like self-adhesive pearls, metal charms, potentially the wax seals, anything that creates anything raised in your card, when it goes in the machine, there's a danger of it catching. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing we can do about that here in the UK. I don't know what the system's like over in the States. So if you're wanting to send something through the mail, I would probably be more aware of keeping it completely flat this day and age. If I was going to put something like this would be something that I would hand deliver. So it would be for a family member or someone that I could get to.
You could put that inside a bubble envelope, couldn't you?
That would be the other thing, yeah. It would cost a little bit more, but you could wrap it in bubble wrap and send it as a little parcel rather than just a plain letter, which would protect it. And I think for something like this, I mean, they are literally about 1 millimetre, 2 millimetres deep. So I think for something like that, it would protect it well enough, Yeah, but then obviously they don't go through the machines. So anything that's slightly thicker that's classed as a parcel rather than a letter doesn't go through the machine, so you're a bit safer.
She's got insider knowledge, you see. She's got insider knowledge. She knows how the postal system works.
He used to have an unlimited supply of stamps and an unlimited supply of rubber bands when he was working, but he's semi-retired now, so I have to buy them now.
Oh, that's just not on, is it? Right now, bit of news about the re-inkers. At this moment in time, collection 2 has sold out. We did warn you that the OR2, the nectarine, was going to sell it out because of that. Now, you are definitely buying these in the bundles a lot because I know how many we had of these. So what we have still got left at the moment while they're rejigging all the bundles is collection 1. I'll just whiz through it. You've got your brown grey 1, your cranberry, ice green, green grey 4, cocktail pink, sea spray, raw sienna, holly, bright orange, soft purple, pink violet and denim. So that's the collection we've got left. So again, We actually only had 11 more of this bundle than we did have of collection 2. So I would expect this one to sell out again pretty quick. The price for this bundle of all 12 is again £19.99 or dollars if you are platinum. So again, like I was saying, £1.60 a bottle instead of $5.99 or $7.99 is phenomenal value. They're saying officially save over 65%, and you certainly are, especially when you're getting that platinum price down there. But there was another thing I wanted to show you. Now, I don't even, this is so hot off the press that I don't even have a set here. I do have a set at home because I was quick enough. Is something that our Jan absolutely loves and uses all the time. And every time she comes in and does demos, you go, when will you have the Daubers back in stock, Jan? Have we got the Daubers?
We certainly have. And would you believe that I haven't brought mine with me today?
That must be a first.
They were very sneaky and added these onto the show the last minute, and I'd already left home, so I haven't got my set with me. But you know, you've seen them before, and you see that I have them in the colour families. There are 40 Daubers in here, and there are 36 colours in our range of Spectrum Noir ink pads. So you've got the ability to have one Dauber per ink, and you've still got 4 left over for any spares that you might want to use. And that's how I use mine. I have all mine set out in the colours, ready to match the inks. Now, I would recommend that you have a set of these for different types of ink. So, for example, I use these mainly with my pigment inks, and you can see we've put the little Dauber on here just to remind you that that's a good match. You can use them with your water reactive inks, absolutely. You can use them with your metallic inks, you can use them with the new duet ink pads, with the shimmer ink pads. The only ones that I wouldn't really bother with are the quick dries because they dry so quickly. But I would have a different set. The reason being is the combination of ink that's in an opaque pigment is different to what you would find, for example, in a water reactive ink. Is different to what you would find in the new duet ink pads. So you're going to contaminate your Daubers with different types of ink, and eventually you'll get to a state which we do tend to abuse a little bit in the studio. These are the ones in the studio that are looking a little bit sorry for themselves. And I must admit, we do tend to sort of pick them up and use them as is. Now, my ones at home, I only use these with my pigment inks. And the idea of them, and I am going to be naughty. Can I be naughty and use a new one? Or shall I use one of these out of here? I'll use one of these. I daren't use the new one. I might get into trouble for using the new one.
No one is daring to touch that box full.
I know. It looks so nice and pristine that I thought, I don't want to be the one that's using them. So I'll take the turquoise one out of the other set. And basically, I was just going to show you how easy they are to use. I've just got some spare paper here. Picked up the Oasis ink, and I'm going to use that piece that we die cut earlier and just use it as a stencil so that I've got something quick. So again, all you need to do is load that little finger applicator. I tend to use it on my index finger. I know some people prefer it on their middle finger, however it works for you. And all you're going to do literally is work gently. And this could be an ordinary Mylar stencil, it could be a die cut like I've done here. And all you do is push that ink through the gap, and they are perfect for this kind of thing. You can also do your blending with them if you've just got a small area that you want to blend straight onto some cardstock. I sometimes use them to edge things, but you can see how beautifully it lays down that ink there. Again, if you want to use them just to edge your card, you can use them in that manner. You can actually free blend with them, you know, straight direct to cardstock. Lots of different ways that you can actually use these, and I've found these invaluable as an applicator. Now, I tend to use, like I said, these with my pigment inks. I tend to use the sponge applicators with my water reactive inks, and then depending if I'm using what I call the speciality inks, like the shimmer inks and the metallic inks, things like that, lots of different ways. You know, you can use, if you prefer the little sponge, Daubers, you can use those with the other inks as well. I've just got a few of those for later. We're going to use some of those with the alcohol inks. So yeah, lots of different ways, but the little sponge Daubers, and this, I wish I'd brought mine with me. I wish I'd have known they were going to be on the show, because my little set of these in all its little rainbow colours just makes me so happy.
Does it?
Just to sit and look at it when I'm feeling down, yeah. Honestly, you know what I'm like with colours. They have to be in the right order, and it just makes me so... This one's a bit sort of...
Tired.
Tired's a good word, isn't it? Yes. Well loved. Well loved, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we've got them back in stock. I know they sold so quickly last time, so it's like, heads up, we have got them back in stock, but we're not sure for how long, because there's a lot of people been waiting for them. I know there will be a lot of you out there that's filled that little box in on the website asking us to inform you when they're back in stock. You've got all those people that are then going to be ordering these, and then once they've gone, we've got to then wait for the next shipment of them coming in.
So if you do want those, today they're $24.99 or $32.99. But again, your platinum price is going to drop down to $19.99 or $26.39. Right now, we're going to have our second break, and then we're going to come back with a lot more lovely inspiration. So check out your baskets. If you want re-inker set 1, then make sure you check that out nice and quickly, because that will sell out as well. But until then, just watch this quick video and we'll be back in a minute.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, $1 or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the products.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other, where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part. And it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
Feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
A massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously. The people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Right, well, we're in the last little section. Hasn't it flown past? It's gone past so quickly. Jan and I were just saying we're quite ready for our lunch. So it's going to be lunchtime when we finish. But until then, we're going to show you something else that launched just last week. Now, I launched these on possibly about Thursday, I think it was last week. Festive frames and sentiments dies. So you're going to get 12 dies in total because it goes across 4 collections. So you're going to get an outer die, an inner die and a sentiment. Now, the sentiments will will cross-pollinate across one and, you know, you can mix and match them. But you're going to get Xmas with the holly, which is absolutely lovely. You're going to get peace with the stars. Now, take away the peace from there. That is just any celebration, isn't it? It could be birthday, it could be anniversary, it could be whatever you want. It's not too Christmassy at all. Our producer's like, well, what have you got if you take away the peace? Oh, keep up with the show, Dick. Keep up. And then we've got our joy, which is really beautiful. And again, look at that. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking that's going to go so well with things like our Roaring Twenties. It's very Art Deco, isn't it?
I can see flowers in it as well. So any of the floral collections, the daisies and things like that, I think would work with it, yeah.
I think also the one I like with doing this is cut this out of 2 colours and then snip away the angel and lay one on top of the other so it comes through. Yeah. That looks really lovely. And finally, we've got Noel with those snowflakes. So yes, clearly that one is Christmas, isn't it? Because you've got your snowflakes there.
Or winter.
And you've got Noel.
It could be a winter birthday.
It could be anything winter. So we've got Noel, we've got the joy, peace, and Xmas as well. So you're going to get all 12 dies for £65 or $76. That's going to go down to £52 or $60.80 if you're platinum. Now these are a type of creator card because they are so easy to use. And Jan's going to show you something fabulous with these, I'm sure.
Right, so we're going to use the Peace at Christmas one. So this is one of the rectangular sets. Like Corrine said, there are 2 that are rectangular shape and 2 that are square. So we're looking at just over 5.5 inches by just under 4.5 inches. You've always got the measurements on the front here to give you an idea. And they're a 3-piece set. So you've got that internal die, which has got that lovely detail on. In this case, this is all the stars. And this one's a cut into your card. So there's no external cutting edge around the outside or around the inside. So you could just simply cut a frame into your cardstock, which is what I'm going to do for our card initially. Then you get the outside rectangle. So if you wanted to cut this out as a topper, you can put the outside frame with it and you would get a free standing piece. And then you've got the lettering, which differs for each of the 4 designs. So this one's got the word peace and you've just got the little candle built into the C there of the piece. So we're going to cut all this out and I'm going to use this on the front of a like a diorama style card. So I've taken my piece of multi-purpose cardstock and this is actually the length of our A4 and it is 6 inches deep. And I've scored it ready to fold in at the sides. So this is going to be my central piece and I want to centre this in the middle here. So again, in comes the tape because we want to make sure it stays in place. So I'm just going to eyeball that and look roughly that I've got about the same distance all the way around the outside there. And then again, I'm just going to take a little bit of tack off the tape and just tape it in here. Now I've taped it on the inside. This is going to stay in place, but I'm going to put another panel over the top of it. So that's why I've taped it on the inside. And then bring my plates in and I'm going to open these pieces out because I don't want to cut through those edge pieces as well. Normal set of shims in there. And we're going to pass that through our Gemini. Now the die itself would fit through your smaller machine, but like I've said many times, it just depends on the size of your project as to which machine you would need. Now I've put mine on the full plate because I've got that full length of cardstock. So this is actually going to cut that detail into the centre of that piece of card that I've placed it on. Okay, so we take those away. 1, 2, 3, whoops. And then on here, you can see we've got that lovely detail cut into the side of the card there. So if I just pop that to one side, and again, I'm going to take the tape away first, just from the frame there. And then I prefer to turn it over so that I can see where it's coming from. And you've got that lovely detail then. If I put this over another piece of cardstock, you can see all that lovely detail. We just need to take those few extra pieces out there that have not popped out.
There wasn't much to pop out there at all.
Not at all, no. A lot of it have stayed. And I found, to be honest, since I've been using the new Gemini 2, that a lot of the pieces do stay more in the die and there is less to pop out. I don't know if you've noticed it, Corrine.
Yes, yeah, it does. It's the pressure is just, it's so even, isn't it?
So again, just to take those pieces out, and you can see there that we've got that lovely, that one doesn't want to play. There we go. You can see that detail there, okay? And then what I've done is I've taken the same piece again, but I've also added that outline rectangle. So we've got this one and this one together, and I've cut that out of the gold, which has given me the equivalent of a topper now because we've added that external edge to it. And what we're going to do is we're going to use these together and just offset them slightly to create that little shadow behind it. Okay, so pop those to one side for a second, and then I've also cut my wording out of a piece of gold mirror card, and these are absolute. I love the font on this. It's absolutely gorgeous, and you can just see there all that detail. And then, as I say, inside the C, you've got the little candle, you've got some of the stars to echo the frame. So that's going to go in the centre there. So what I need to do is bring in my piece of cardstock there. And I need to do that other fold here and just burnish that one back. And then again, I've gone back to those paper pads, absolutely beautiful. You can see here, I've taken one of the pieces and I've just cut it the right size to fit on the front here and have a little white border around the outside and a little white border on the inside. So that's the first thing we're going to do. And again, I'm going to go to that all-purpose glue so that I can just get this in place and it sit nicely with the borders. You've got a little bit of wiggle room if you're using some wet glue rather than using the tapes.
Yeah, tapes are brilliant, but you do lose that ability to move things, don't you?
Yeah, something like this where I want it to be in a certain position. I'm literally just going to lay it down and then I can move it. You have a good minute or so before the glue starts to cure, so you can actually pop that into place and get it stuck down before you have to worry about it. And then I've also done a couple of panels for the edge in the same paper, and I've just matted those onto some of that gold mirror card to bring the mirror card in there. So we may as well stay with the glue, seeing as we've got that out. So those are going to go on those end panels like so. And the same at this side.
So that to me looks like it's the traditional paper pad, so that would be Season's Greetings.
It is, absolutely, yep.
I think it'd work with either pad really well.
You could do it with any of them,
lovely.
absolutely any of them, yeah. This was just one colourway, one colour scheme. So again, that's those two down. And then the back, I've got exactly the same size piece here, and I've just popped a piece of the glitter card. So all the gold card is from our luxury card packs that have the glitter, the mirror and the satin card.
Just about to ask, and now you brought that in, you can see you've gone through the whole pack.
Pretty much. So what we're going to do there then is pop these two together so you can see we've created that sort of theatre style or diorama style there. But before I stick them together, I'm going to bring in this piece. Now you could just lay this inside, excuse me, dearie me, and literally overlay it so that you've got the colour there. But what I want to do is just offset it just a fraction so that you can see that white, and it just gives you that little hint of a shadow behind it, or a highlight in this case with it being white. So this one, I'm going to go to my dotty tape pen and very, very lightly just run this over the back so that we can pop this one in place. So again, that one's going to drop into the gap. Let me just flatten that out. But just a little, I only want a tiny bit of it showing. just enough to just give it that little hint of a highlight there. Okay, and then we're going to pop this one together. So again, I'll just flick over to my tape pen so that I don't have to wait for that one to dry. So I'm just going to put glue on each end, and then we're going to fasten the front piece to the back with those side panels, and the same at that side. And then I've just used some spare cardstock to make a nice little plaque now. And again, I've got a piece of the gold mirror card, piece of the glitter card, and then just some white, plain white multi-purpose card, and that one's going to go right in the centre there. So again, we'll do that with our tape runner because it's just going onto cardstock.
Such a beautiful project.
And again, this will all fold flat, so you can press it flat to position these elements. And then the very last bit to go on there, well, I'm saying the very last bit bar the embellishments, is going to be my wording. So again, swap tape pens back to the dotty tape pen, and just be very gentle with something like this, that you're going in the same direction as your die cut so that you don't risk sort of ripping any of the cardstock. And then this one is going to go right across the middle like so. So again, it folds flat so that you can position. And then I'm just going to pop that one in the centre. Now I have got one that's finished to just show you it with, you know, you can add any embellishments that you wish. All I did, I'd got some star dies at home with this having a star border.
Yeah.
I've just cut some stars out. Again, with those same card scraps, little bit of red to pick up the red in here, and a couple of gems in the middle of it, so you can just see all those lovely pieces of cardstock playing nicely with each other with that paper pad, and then the die being your centerpiece in the middle there. Really, really pretty, and so simple. All I've done are three die cuts including the sentiment. The rest of it is all just card design.
Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, if you want those, £65 or $76, platinum price £52 or $60.80. You're going to get all 4 designs, 12 dies in total, and they truly are beautiful. So go back and watch. We've done lots of shows with those over the last few days. Now, the other thing you would need if you wanted to make those would be your Christmas paper pads. We're going to do the season's greetings, which is our traditional, and our Christmas cheer, which is our contemporary. 36 sheets, all double-sided, and every one 12 by 12. I'll quickly show you beautiful designs, and including sheets. Look at that, 30 toppers on there, 6 by 5. Absolutely gorgeous. Your backs are just as beautiful as the front with these beautiful design. The depth, the dimension, the layers of the imagery is absolutely gorgeous. Now, a lot of you have bought those already, and they seem to be very busy today as well. I'm loving on the Christmas cheer. I think the backs of the papers are stunning as well. You've got foam stitching, you've got stripes, you've got spots. There are so many gorgeous, gorgeous designs. I think the backs of these would go all year round. Now, if you want both of these, your platinum price today is £23.20. Couldn't get over that, say that then. Or $31.20. That'd be brilliant. Right, I've got a couple of comments to go through. We've got Charlotte Clark saying good. I don't know if I read that one. Good morning from Georgia. She's just watching. She's going to watch the whole rest of the programme later because she's got to go out to work. That's not a naughty word. We've got Liz R says, afternoon crafty friends, Corrine, Jan and Team Social at Crafters TV. Oh, Sandra does says her 2 boxes of Daubers have arrived. Brilliant,
Excellent.
Sandra. And Patch says, I'm excited. My Daubers are out for delivery this afternoon. Well done, Cece, especially the warehouse team. She only ordered them on Thursday. That's when I relaunched them, wasn't it? It was Thursday's show, yes. Sarah Leahy, I think, is saying, if you don't have Yupo paper, what else could you use? Jan's going to cover that on the next show.
I am.
So rather than dip into it now and only touch on it, please come back at 2 o'clock, Sarah, and Jan's going to go into depth on that. Crafty Stacey Lou says, I'm going to Chesterfield store in October for my birthday, and I'm making a list of what I want. Lucky you. But she also said that's a very classic Christmas card. Amazing as always. Violet Hastings says, the CC Temptations never end. I love these. A few more good mornings from Teresa, from Donna Yam in Florida, Evelyn, Melanie D says beautiful card, Liz R says lovely card, Violet Hasty says beautiful card, and Lynn Morton says beautiful card. Jan, thank you as always. So yeah, I'm up to date with the comments because there. Shall we set the cards going so that we're not in too much of a rush? You've only done a couple of cards because there's been a lot of technique.
There has, yeah. There's going to be a lot more techniques this afternoon as well. So as far as the show's concerned, it was just the metal work. We started off with the half creator cards, and we made that lovely snowflake design.
Oh, that's me.
There we go. You can see that one. So that was number 1 in conjunction with our inks there. And then I've just finished off the second one with those lovely festive frames, mixing and matching with those gorgeous paper pads that we've got on there. So that was number 2.
There we go, absolutely brilliant. Which one are you going to pick, 1 or 2? Hopefully it's not going to be too difficult for you to choose, and our Olivia will count up the votes. Now, I've got an Explorer mystery bag. I hope I picked, it's the only mystery bag I can see, so I'm hoping this one is this. So you have got £51.95 or nearly $73 worth of value for here, and you're going to get it for a lot less. You're going to get it for £35 or $45. Your platinum price is £28 or $36. Now, it fits so well with today. So we have got 3 of your tricolour watercolour pens. I'm going to turn it round so that you can see. These tricolour water pens, they really are, you've got sort of yellows and greens, blue and teals, and pinks and purples, all in one pen. So you get the 3 different colours in each one. Remember, aqua pens, you can make so many more colours with those. You're also going to get your tri-blends in your portrait blends. So it's 6 pens, but remember that's 18 colours in each. You're also going to get your metallic markers in molten copper, which are really lovely, and you're going to be able to do all sorts of those. And those are the sorts of things that would go on your wax seals if you had them. You've also got your Bordeaux, which goes really well with the copper pens, and you're also going to get your glossy highlights. So you're going to get all of these. So you're going to get, what you're going to get, 3, 6, so 3 and 6, that's 9, and another 3, that's 12 pens. But a lot more colours than that, obviously. An ink pad and also your glossy highlights for £28 or $36. That is amazing. Right, now I was told even set 1 of the re-inkers has sold out, but I'm now being told there is 1 set left. 1 set left. So if you want re-inker set 1, there's 1 left, but as soon as if you put it in your basket, check out, or somebody else will pinch it off you. So a couple of things. So we've shown you lots of ink pads, we've shown you lots of inks and pens, but you also might want things to go sort of on the fronts of your cards, and this is where these chalkboard stamps come in perfectly. You're getting 7 stamps, and they're quite large, are these. They're meant to be the focal point. Now we have done them white on black, or we've done it with the resist on white and then gone over it with the inks. But you could be doing it in your quick dry inks, maybe doing an ombre effect. You can do them however you want. We've called them chalkboard because of the size and the lovely font. We've got May You Be Forever Blessed. That was written by Mary Lamb. Don't know who she is, but there we go. We've got Life is Tough, but So Are You. That is lovely. Look, I love the ombre effect on there. We've got Life is Too... What does it sound about? Life is Too Important to Be Taken Seriously, as said by Oscar Wilde. I do know who he is. Go Out There and Do Amazing Things. That's a lovely one to do. Can you imagine doing that for a card for somebody going off to university or somewhere like that? That would be brilliant, or starting a new job. Enjoy the Sweet Little Moments is your next one. Remember, you're getting all 7 of these. You don't have to choose. Oh wow, I've just seen the price. I didn't look up. The greatest thing you can be is yourself. Isn't that the sort of thing we want to say to our children all the time as they're growing up? Just be yourself. Be yourself and do your best. Laughter is the best medicine is the final one. Now, £34.93, or I think that's $48.65. It struck through the middle. I couldn't see whether it's a 0 or an 8. But today's price is £17 or $24. Now, your platinum price down there is going down to £13.60 or $19.20. That means they're coming in at under £2 or $3 per stamp. Wow, that is amazing. They're lovely big stamps and they're going to last a long, long time. Now, maybe you're not into stamping, maybe you are sort of die cutting and embossing. Well, then you would be interested in our gorgeous cut and emboss collection. So these are your floral frames. I love these. The re-inkers have just sold out, by the way. Somebody's got that last one. It's been said in my ear. They said it twice, so I think I was supposed to repeat it out loud. When somebody's told me twice, I think that's like, wants to tell me and wants to tell me out loud. There we go. We have got the beautiful blossom. Now, this is going to emboss and cut your aperture at the same time. And I love these apertures because they're all irregular shapes. Somebody helped me out with that word the other day. Irregular shapes. They look lovely. So you've got your beautiful blossom. You've got your perfect peony. Oh, peony bloom is that one. Lovely are these. They look gorgeous colours with your pens. Timeless forget-me-nots. I've done a Christmas card with that one. It looked beautiful. You've got classic winter rose. There we go. And then you've got this one here, which is your fragrant magnolias. But look at these apertures. They are beautiful. You've got your striking gerberas, your vibrant rose, and there's something about this one. I really love this one. This is your dancing daffodils. Now, if you want all of these, all 8 cut and emboss folders, wow, what's the discount on this? Nearly 60%, 60 something, £40 today or $45. You're saving 60%. Your platinum price is £32 or $36. Now, I have a winner. Sorry, Jan was just away from her counter. Just give her a tick. The winner for demo of the show is, I'm not surprised, the other one is beautiful, but number 2.
Number 2. Okay, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much. So, Jan, we've had loads of inspiration. Paw Print 4 is just as she's waiting on those frames to arrive, and she loves your card. So, what are we going to see at 2 o'clock, please?
Right, so 2 o'clock then is going to be all about the alcohol ink. So mainly the re-inkers and what else you can do with them. I'm going to show you how to fill the pen again for any benefit of anybody that wasn't watching at the top of this show. And I'm also going to look at different ways of using backgrounds. I have used some of the Yupo paper, which is the perfect substrate for alcohol inks. Now, unfortunately, we haven't got it in stock. We've not got it back in stock here at Crafters Companion. You can buy it elsewhere, but we've not got it on the website. But I've also been playing around with some of the equipment I've got in my craft room, and I've actually worked out a way that we can use it with just our plain multi-purpose card as well. It's a transfer skill. And a lot of you have been asking me for a very, very long time about the jelly plates, which again is something that we don't sell. I might have to have a little chat with Alianne and see if she can add it to our mixed media range, but I've just brought one of my mini ones today, and I'm going to show you how you can use your alcohol inks with that and then transfer it onto cardstock, and it's just using our multi-purpose card. So for those of you that don't have access to the Yupo paper, it means that you can still make some really nice images, and I'll show you what I've done with those later in the show. And then I've also, I know it was really popular last time I did this this, and it did actually win me my stars on the board, where I showed you how to make the flowers with the alcohol ink. So I've brought a different style of flower today with a different colour, and I'm going to show you how to do that as well with them. So lots lined up for this afternoon.
Wow, that really is going to be busy. I think we're going to have to be here 2 o'clock prompt. Make sure you're there, sitting down, and notepad and pen at the ready, because I'm sure you're going to want to make notes. My top tip would be watch the show and then re-watch at a later date and craft along then. So I wouldn't try and craft along with Jan at 2. That's just my personal opinion. I just find I take in more if I can watch it properly. So yeah, we're going to be back here absolutely prompt. Now we're just going to show you one last thing before we go. Our pick of the day. So these are 5 sets of 12 pens. You're going to get, so it's 60 pens in total. You're going to get them for £65 or $105. Your platinum price is £52 or $84. Coming out at less than £1 a pen. If you have bought the re-inkers, these are the pens that are refillable from them. It is a pick of the day. You're going to get your double point on there. I'm going to have to go through quite quickly, but you're going to get vintage. Let me just tell you, if you want vintage, that's the one we have the lowest stock of. That's the one that's going to break the bundle. So if we did sell out, the bundle could come back without that one in it. Then we're going to have our pastels, you can see on there. Then we've got our florals and our brights and our jewels. Absolutely amazing colours, no duplicates. If you want these, £52 or $84. Really, really amazing price. So yeah, have that, and remember the vintage is going to break the bundle when that sells out, so be quick if you want that. Now I hope you've had a really lovely show. It's been so educational. I have loved every minute of it. Jan and I are going off to go and have a little bit of lunch. I have heard the rain, hopefully that has stopped, but until 2 o'clock, we will be back just then, and we're going to have the best, I'm going to call it a masterclass, all about re-inkers and what you can do with them. So please, thank you for your comments. I'd love to have your comments later. They're going to sort out the re-inker bundles, and we will be back at 2 o'clock with loads more inspiration and crafty fun. So until then, see you later. Bye.